baby.
Well, are we welcoming?
Yeah.
Can I welcome now?
Yeah, you can.
Welcome.
But it's still spinning.
Wait, it's spinning.
No,
Is
it's
that
not.
the delay?
That was the delay. That
Whoa.
was this Twitch stream.
So we're live.
now we're live.
Okay.
But
Well,
is that delayed?
No, that's not
wait,
delayed.
my hand's
That
up.
one's
My
live.
hand went up. My hand went up. Welcome to episode 153 of Crippled System, the podcast.
That was very professional. I didn't know what to do next.
I threw y'all off. Kaboom. My name is Brian. I play the Division.
Hi.
Jesus. Seriously?
I was going to say something, but then I opened my mouth and stopped, and then my body's like, that's what I look like when I yawn. So it yawned. I can't see the screen because of all the glare. True story. There's
Neither
a baby
can I.
there. The end. Oh, I can see it now. I'm Nathan.
Now he's sad. He can see himself.
Yes. Everyone should be sad when they can see me.
I'm Jackie. This is Munchkin.
Munchkin.
That's her actual name.
There's zero chance that you're audible, but this is going to be
okay.
complicated as hell. All right.
Somebody's
Right
going to
up
have
in
to.
there.
Oh, that's going
How's
to be
that?
grabbed immediately.
It's out of reach.
Fine.
It's out of baby
It's
reach.
Baby reach.
You underestimate her baby. I'm sorry, misunderestimate her baby reach.
Yeah.
Hilarity may ensue this episode. Who knows? Or maybe not.
Maybe. Hey, this might be the first ever baby-possessing podcast episode of a War Machine-related nature.
We're taking our tech up another step.
We could be like the first podcast that's stopped for emergency.
I wanted to see like baby vomit everywhere, just randomly.
We
Just
might not be the
everywhere.
first podcast where somebody shits themselves on air.
I mean, Colin's been on a podcast before, so
Hey.
they've already covered that part. Ooh, she saw
That didn't
the.
take long.
So at the time,
There's going to be a lot of us probably just staring at Aurora. And
No. no baby staring.
Munchkin.
so we.
There goes the pop filter.
She's
All right.
fine. She's got it.
Yeah.
All right, so
Announcements.
Announcements. We have Adepticon coming up.
in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks there's an Adepticon. Nathan and I will be there.
Yeah.
Are you in the car still, or have you fixed that situation?
I should probably check and see if I can fix it. I haven't bothered to check, though.
Think of free.
Yeah,
Think
free's
of
awesome.
Free, and you just need a couple blankets. 'cause-
I mean, if somebody has a free floor of their hotel room, I'll take. I'm living
help
free.
me find one. Help me find one too.
I
I
don't have it.
don't have one either.
I'm putting as much effort into finding it for you as I've put into finding it for myself.
We're working on it too, so.
Oh, there
More
you go.
space for 4?
So you and
maybe?
Keith get a room, and Andy and I will crash in it.
Do you really want to crash in our room? You may see things that cannot be unseen.
I've seen it all.
I think I stayed with Keith at Gen Con one year.
Some things can't be unseen.
I stayed with Mr. Bucket and you and Keith one year.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the four of us.
Yeah, we've
seen everything.
We've seen everything.
We've seen it all on the grass. Boop your nose. Yeah, Adepticon.
Adepticon, that's happening. I don't know the list of events, but there's a lot of events at Adepticon. It's a good time.
I
You
think
should
I
go.
got the competitive package, so I should probably, look into
Well,
that.
there's a Guild Ball event. That's all we care about.
Well, I'm just going to play Time Stories.
There you go.
It's the Year of the Dragon
There's
or whatever
like
it's
2
called.
people in the community who don't like time score stories. It's so bizarre.
Well, the 2 PPE guys. It's Plumber and Simon, I
Yeah.
think was the other one.
Don't like Time Stories?
It's terrible.
Yeah, Plumber thought it was the worst game he's ever played.
It seems like a narrative like that would tie Simon fairly well into it.
And they said it was too bookkeepy, which I don't know how dealing out 6 cards is bookkeepy.
Sure.
They said it was just too much. Every time you went someplace, there was all this fiddly stuff, and it literally is just deal out 6 cards. But
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I've watched it. There's not that much on the table. I've played fiddly game. I've been spending days unpacking my Shadows of Brimstone Kickstarter, my package. That's fucking fiddly.
Yeah.
And I still have days to go to get that thing assembled. Getting something out of Kickstarters when you get them a year and a half later.
Yeah, I just noticed that. So Twitch is not.
announcing that we're online,
Yep. Oh well.
you can tweet it. You can say, "Hey, Twitch isn't doing this, but just so you know, we're online."
Hey, we still have one per. We have
I'm
2
a
people
thinker.
there.
We got 3 people. One of them's Paradox. No, it's not. It's Fredox. That's better.
I didn't know anybody actually listened to this. It's
Nobody
kinda
does.
No, it is.
We usually get one Australian person to watch us. We get Tort.
Yeah, Tort's not here though.
I hung out. I chatted all day with Australians because I was playing. Paddles, who's used to play Scorn in Perth, now plays Menoth. I played Division for like 10 hours with him, or 5 or 6 hours. He played for like 12 hours straight. He's crazy.
All right.
That's my paddle story.
Supposed to vamp a little bit longer, so I can.
Kickstarter has two. Well,
How many
it
more hours?
ends at like 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesday. So it's
Okay.
got like 3 days left
Good, and then I still have a chance.
as of this exact moment. Yeah, and we're only like $30 away from the second stretch goal.
Ooh.
So
I might pay for my team this week if I can just remember to email. And it's a lot of work. I have to go to PayPal and like hit submit.
I am 99.9% sure. Well, we were only holding words. We have 99.9% nailed down what the final cost for teams for the WITC is going to be, and it's like half of what the maximum possibly would have been. But I don't want to officially state that yet because we wanted to double check one thing that was kind of a no-brainer. But it's always those no-brainer things you don't double check that end up just boning you in an orifice.
Oh yeah, boning in orifices.
But we'll see. You're a baby. Baby, you can't drink Cheerios through a sippy cup. It don't work that way.
We've
Or if you
called
can, you'll be a popular
we've
girl.
called people babies before, but usually Jeremy was here.
Yeah. I vamped about Kickstarter. It's somebody else's turn to talk. Jackie hasn't said shit.
Hi Jackie, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you guys?
Wonderful.
I had a weekend off.
Weekend
it
off.
happens once every year or so.
Well, you only work a few hours a day.
Only a few.
There you go. So
like 16. Yeah.
Only 12. Only 12.
Should I not swear in front of the baby?
I don't really give a shit.
There we go. Well, because she can't talk yet, so
Exactly.
she can't. Yeah.
We're expecting her to come home from kindergarten one day after being sent to the principal's office for calling somebody a shithead or something like that. So it's inevitable.
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 Yeah, somebody had mentioned that we should give Aurora Jeremy's mic. I think if she does make another special appearance on the podcast, we should have a high chair.
We'll get a high
Specifically-
chair and some pizza for her. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Pop.
All right.
For our audio listeners, are going to get this afterwards. She just took the pop filter and is just smashing her face into it.
it's there to keep the mic safe. It's keeping the mic safe.
She looked like from the other side of the pop filter. It looks like the face is coming to the TV in Exorcist or not Exorcist, Poltergeist or whatever. She loves it though.
It is not the most sanitary thing in the world.
No, especially not anymore.
Her favorite toy is the toilet. I'm not really worried.
Sure.
It's a pretty amazing device. It's,
It is.
It's fascinating.
It is a better contribution than Jeremy so far.
Oh, do you want to talk to his heat?
I was literally licking the microphone. Good times. Yeah, let's, there we go. Pop filter, microphone. Baby, look, here's a thing that's not, covered in filth.
Now, see if it was Katie, you
Ostensibly.
could just give him $1. It'd be fine. That's what you test.
I don't know what that meant.
But give Katie $1, you calm her down. Just,
She just likes money.
Yeah.
She is an accountant.
every time Katie has ever been mad at me, I literally keep singles on me for if I hang out with Katie and she gets mad, I just give her $1 to calm her down. I've gotten out of a lot of trouble with Katie. It costs me like $3 a month, but it really is a lifesaver to keep cash on you. That's a pro tip for anyone out there who hangs out with Katie. Just if she gets crazy, which she does, because she's Katie, just give her $1. You'd think it would take more sometimes, but no matter how mad she is, one single dollar will still calm her down.
No, I'm busy.
Well, Katie likes money.
Oh, she loves money.
It is like scientifically proven that just touching money makes you happy.
Here's a Shay story. Katie, we went to go see a movie last week. We saw Zootopia, which is actually phenomenal.
Zootopia?
Zootopia is amazing. I was surprised. I didn't know what it was about. But I wanted to go see Eddie the Eagle, and she said, no, we can't see Eddie the Eagle. It's a sports movie, and sports movies are dumb. So we ended up, so then we both see Zootopia, which was still great. But then this weekend she rented Whip It because she wanted to watch, I think, a roller derby movie.
I'm pretty sure roller derby is a sport.
She said, well, there was girls in it, so it can't be a sports movie. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're a girl, and saying that's probably,
You're talking about renting Whip It?
no, she rented Whip It because she wanted to watch it, but I'm like, it's a sports movie. She's like, well, no, it's not. I'm like, how is that not a sports movie if Eddie the Eagle's not a sports movie?
I think I saw Whip It.
Yeah, we've seen Whip It.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one, though, what's her face with the directing and the hey now.
Yeah, and then I made a comment about Whip It and it's a good lesbian sport, and she got all confused by that. So I had to explain how that worked. lesbians.
that was
She
basketball.
had no
Just the
idea.
concept of
of
lesbians.
lesbians. She's like, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, any female sport is a lesbian thing.
Yeah, basketball.
Heterosexual women do not play sports. This is a proven scientific fact.
I forgot my other point.
Oh, speaking of sports, so there was a UFC fight night that happened on Friday night.
Yep.
I have my DVR set to record it. Unfortunately, I didn't record the first one, so I recorded the replay. And as I'm watching the replay of the sport, it's on Fox Sports 1. So at the bottom of it, it goes through the UFC, and it's telling you all the results as I'm watching the replay of it for the later event, for the later fights.
Did you just like hold your hand up under the bottom half of your peripheral vision so you couldn't see the bottom of the TV?
Well, I had already checked out the results online. So this may be me complaining about something that I don't need to, but I already checked out the results. I didn't realize I recorded it, and I just happened to flip through my DVR. I'm like, oh, I did. So
But still, for a more rational person, that would have been infuriating.
it would have been pretty annoying to have all those results be spoiled like that.
Katie also, I remember that's my story. That is ridiculous, probably, what you just said. They watched The Big Hit, and she was trying to like argue with like the results. She was like trying to argue with the TV. It's like it's a thing that happened in the past. It's not a debatable thing. And she's like, because she's like so pro money and like that kind of thing that she just like seems so mad.
She was yelling at the characters.
Yeah.
They can't hear you.
You
Big
watched
Hit's
the Big
good.
Hit? You didn't invite me?
I wasn't there for it. Jeremy was telling me about it. I was home setting up my shadow stuff and playing Division.
I love the Big Hit.
It has my second favorite character who refuses to die.
By the way, I completely screwed that one up. I meant The Big Short. Completely different.
Oh, that
I
is
realized
completely different.
they would never watch The Big Hit because I'm like, The Big Hit. Yeah, no, wait a minute. That's not a thing any of those people would watch. The Big.
I was trying to think where money came into that.
No, you're right. I said, and as soon as I said it, I'm like, something was wrong a minute ago, and I can't remember the word that I used that was wrong, and now it all kind of came back to me. The Big Short. She was like, that's not correct. I'm like, that's actually based on what happened. This is kind of amusing me.
Okay.
Well, she doesn't know anything anyway. She needs Excel.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
The Big Hit is all about money, too.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I mean, that's what they're trying to get. They're trying to get more money.
She's got a good point.
God, that movie is... I love that movie is like one of my favorites.
Big Hit's great.
Of all my... Love that.
I love dumb movies that know they're dumb. They're amazing.
Yeah. That's my recommendation. Go watch The Big Hit.
The end.
Yep.
We lost 2 viewers talking about The Big Hit.
No, that's
They were like-
that's
they-
not
yeah.
live.
That's not live?
It's live, but it's not really.
It was 7 and now it's 5. My life!
So, Jack,
I need validation.
have you made your character? Because you're playing an Iron Kingdom's role-playing game with Marshall and those guys.
I haven't made my character yet, but I'm going to be a mafia liaison, basically.
All right.
Haven't decided if I'm also going to be a double agent with Signar or not. It's kind of... That may be an evolving topic.
That's one benefit of having Marshall back in their town is people that can actually get some role-playing in with them. But yeah, I figured Iron Kingdoms is always. I still love that new Hordes book they came out with,
The Unleashed.
the Unleashed book.
Yeah, I got that. Like the whole set and everything, the adventure kit and whatnot, and that was the end of it.
I actually like the hard. I have the hardcover book. I actually,
me too.
it's actually great to read. It's actually pretty hilarious. It's one of the more well done and interesting role playing books I've read, just from the fluff point of view.
I love the section where they talk about training war beasts,
Yeah.
and they talk about how they train Titans and how they train this, and then they go over, and then they get to the minion section. Every one of them is just like, no, you can't train these, and they'll have a different fluff reason why you can't train them.
Yeah, the Pharaoh chapters are great. All the whole everything about the minions is just amazing. Everything with the Pharaoh is ridiculous in that book.
You cannot train a bone swarm. It's basically roadkill. It's valid.
Seems legit.
Yeah, I want to be a pharaoh something if I ever play again.
I'm upset because Jim is playing a Bog Trog ambusher, and that's what the thing is, I wanted to play a Bog Trog Warcaster, but or at least have Warcaster armor because I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, some heavy changes would need to be made in order to allow that character.
I know Keith has a Trollkin, and then he took the thing that gives you +1 to your base size, so he's on a large base. So he's just like this 9 foot tall, just beast.
I know Jeremy's character has like super high intelligence and like a defense 8. So he walked up the cover. The first thing he did got taken out, but almost got killed one shot.
Oh yeah. Jeremy's got a crossbowman guy was like a mage hunter of some
With
sort.
super low defense.
With super low defense.
Yeah, 8.
Like, how do you do
less
that?
than a fucking colossal.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Evidently they tried to convince him that was a bad idea during character creation. He thought it would work.
Like, did he just think he'd hit them first so they wouldn't get to shoot back?
That was kind of his idea because I can boost my hit and damage. I'm like, well, how much damage did you do when you're dead? That's my next
In
question.
fairness, he survived the first session.
Yeah, he's on the ground bleeding out.
Survived. Yes.
He did.
As in, all of his friends killed the enemy before he died. He bled out.
Yeah.
Hey, if it works, it works.
He created the suspense and the time limit. Like, well, if Jeremy dies in 7 rounds, so we better finish the game in 6 rounds.
That's how we always used Jeremy in Borderlands 2, was he would go somewhere
Sure.
and die, and then we had to finish the fight in time to res him.
Yeah. So it's kind of like similar to
It's a rally point.
if you watched Speed Racer in the giant fight scene in the middle on the mountain where you have Sparky. Sparky can't handle his fight.
Yeah.
Of course, Nathan's not paying attention.
I'm listening. Sparky can't handle his fight.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to retort to that. But you weren't retorting.
No, I was listening intently to your anecdote.
Oh, okay.
Something Speed Racer.
Sparky and Sparky.
Yeah, Sparky. That can't be Sparky. Sparky had skin. That's an MST3K reference.
Good reference.
Anyway, Sparky. Jeremy is like Sparky.
Yes. He just can't handle himself in a fight. That was great. It's good podcasting today.
Good podcasting, everyone. We still have someone listening to us. Why, I don't know.
Still have like 45 minutes to go.
It's fine. We're talking about IKRPG.
I could talk about the Division for half an hour. Actually, I couldn't. I could play for the next half an hour.
I'm kind of sad that they took away the ability to just block a doorway and prevent entire servers from playing the game.
Yeah.
Oh, you could the reason why it was such a big issue is because of the amount of people that were joining the game right away.
Yeah, it was literally a day one problem.
Yeah,
Because
it's
you're
not
only
much of a problem.
because you're only in the tutorial area the first day, and not everyone's a max level. You can't. There's no part where that exists.
Yeah, but it hoses all the new players.
Yeah.
Well, no, if you go into the game right now, you're going to go right through that new area without any
Because
issues.
you're high level, you can't go back to it. So you have to make a character, and plus like you can't even do it anyway.
Well, right, because you can't do it anymore anyway. But because there would otherwise, even beyond day one, you could still make a new character and just fuck over all the new people. There wouldn't be as many new people as there were day one, but there would still be new people.
Yeah.
But they changed it so you can't do that. Correct. Anyway.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know, I heard you. I disagree.
You won that one, Nathan.
I did. Finally, somebody.
Finally, somebody listens to Nathan.
Yes.
His moment has finally come.
Yes. A woman who knows to shut up when I talk to her.
Wow.
When she throws a few in 20 minutes, it'll be
Seriously.
great.
She really wants that microphone.
She does really want that microphone. Oh, now it's out of reach. Wah, wah.
Indeed.
Indeed. We could talk about the tournament I was at that I don't know who actually won.
You went to tournament for 3 rounds and left, and none of us were there.
Yeah.
That'd be a good tournament summer. I know who won.
Who won? Jordan?
Jordan won.
Oh,
It was Jordan and Max in the finals.
it was? Oh, so,
Max
so
destroyed all of Jordan's army and then lost by scenario.
Really? Hmm. So, so that...
Doom Reavers won another tournament in Madison. I know, that's how we all feel about Doom Reavers. That's the exact response everyone makes. In that exact voice, too.
That's okay, because Jordan knows that it's limited. Like, a month from now, that will never win again.
He's pretty confident.
He's already starting to train replacement lists because he knows the Doom Reavers have expired.
Yeah.
Oh, the Doom Reaver spam?
We're finally shifting our meta because we're all sick of it.
Yeah, I would have probably done well against him, but I lost against Max because I made a poor list choice decision.
Was this a 35-point event?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
that's the problem.
So
You couldn't play Acid Trip.
no, but I won against Max. Max had, so I won my first game because I had to buy. My second game, I took on Brian Culp, beat him. It was Gatsby versus Butcher 3.
Suck it, Culp.
Yep. Third game was against Max, and I had Gorshade 2 and Gatsby 2. He had Assyria and Ron. So I had Gorshade. That means he's not going to be playing Ron's Charge of the Battle Mages.
Sure.
Because, well, all of them will die.
Right.
Well, the challenge is they cast a spell, then they die, so he can still pull you out, kill you, and then just have a lot of guys dead.
Correct.
So it's still a little.
But I have stealth.
Gotcha. That is.
So my whole army has stealth except for the Kraken.
Yeah.
So he's not going to do anything.
So I would just take Gorshade's theme against Rhett all day, every day.
Correct. That's what I did. Is I took Gorshade theme because I'm thinking it's like, oh, it's against Rhett. I'm not going to have anything to do except for he has Assyria.
Yeah.
He took Assyria,
Yep.
and Assyria, his feet turn, has got issues with stealth. She gives her entire army true sight.
That's good for her.
That is good for her because then she shot out my entire army. Also the Hyperion, then also consumed 5 out of 8 of the Bane Thralls that I had as well.
Good times.
So I couldn't even reanimate them into the unit. The other unit was just shot off the table. So at the end of his feat turn, I had the Kraken, Gorshade, 1 Bane Thrall that was behind a wall, the Standard Bearer, and then the rest were all Scrap Thralls.
Was Kerr there?
Kerr was there, yeah.
Had you feeded yet?
I couldn't feed because one was crit consumed, the other unit was gone.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because it could only return models that are part of that original unit.
You can make new ones with Tartarus still, but yeah, if he's gone, then it sucks to be you.
Tartarus is in my Gatsby list, actually. But
yeah, she disagrees with your choice to have Tartarus in your Gatsby list.
well, my Gatsby list is fine. It just means I won't pair them two together. She wants to eat your hand.
Gee. No, correct pairing is I'm getting there. I'm getting there. She doesn't think you should have played at 35 points. Well, Gatsby 2 just never loses at 35 points, I believe is
Yeah.
counterpoint.
It was a lot of fun playing them at that. I mean, Culp did pretty much eliminate my entire army and then move Butcher too close, so I was able to get a weird wonky charge in with Tartarus, so I could curse him, and then I got all my feet guys onto him. I got Parasite in my feet, and that's pretty much it.
Sure.
With everyone Mad 8 flying in. Uh-oh.
Roam free, baby.
Oh, this is not good. We have...
Right.
Have a cat on.
She could be a bit Catholic. That's good.
Yeah, there's not that much fatal electronics over on the floor.
Not over this side. You suddenly would just see the camera just tilt to the side and fall.
You know what happens.
I'm making a leg wall beneath the table.
I think she found a Cheerio or something
No,
else.
she found the Cheerio.
All right, nope. I have a leg wall. She's good. She's not getting through here.
Zappities?
We have some of those.
But then you left after round 3?
Yeah, I left after round 3. Like I said, is Keith invited me to a barbecue, and I'm like, I should go to a barbecue because that sounds like fun. And I just decided I'm going to do that.
And we played Sentinels of the Multiverse.
We did. We played 3 rounds of that.
Yep. And I decided I'm only ever going to play Argent Adept ever again. What?
I think Jim was doing
there
some
too?
stuff wrong with Setback.
Oh, even if it wasn't. Just myself, I know I like support characters. I like healing and buffing and stuff like that, and that's all Argent Adept does, so that's what I will do forever and ever. Amen.
We absolutely destroyed the eco-terrorist. He had no chance whatsoever to our team.
Well, his whole gimmick, he does 0 damage. His whole gimmick is that he flips out cards, and once he gets 3 continuous ones out,
Yeah.
he does a bunch of scenario damage, basically, and then resets, and then if he does it enough times, he wins the game. So he never tries to kill you directly, but he can only put out up to 2 cards per turn, and we had 2 characters, each of which got to destroy 1 card per turn, which meant he literally could never make any progress. So he just sat there impotently while we just mushroom stamped him to death.
Yeah. We let him flip once, and we're like, oh, that's what he could do. And then that was it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was when I got my upkeep out, then Jackie got her
Yeah, it
upkeep
turns
removal
out
out.
the Visionary, and who are you playing again, Andy?
I was playing Parse.
Parse, yeah.
Parse and the Visionary turns out broken against that guy.
Yeah.
Dark Visionary in general was pretty broken, though. Being able to draw the top 2 cards from the enemy's deck, put 1 on top and 1 on bottom was pretty good.
The Wraith can do that normally as well.
Yep. Kvoth does something similar. That game's fun. It does have, as we discussed, it does have a terribly written rule book, but, that happens.
That's unfortunately common nowadays.
it's not terribly written.
It is horrifically written. It is a terrible rulebook game.
There are a lot of
The
board
game
games.
plays fine by itself.
I never said the gameplay wasn't good. The
Yeah,
game
but
is...
you're disparaging the game.
No, I'm not.
Some of
I'm
my
definitely not
favorite
disparaging
games
the
in the world have the shittiest rulebooks. Having a bad rulebook doesn't make a game bad. It just means it's a bad rulebook.
Yeah, they're unrelated things.
Yeah.
You know, the game can be incredibly well designed, and if the rulebook is just badly written, it's an obstacle, but it has nothing to do with the quality of the game itself. Like Brian said, I have plenty of games that I love that have terrible rulebooks.
Yeah. Some companies are so good at their games, they just sometimes have problems getting it laid out properly.
Yeah.
And Board Game Geek is great. For many games, I have downloaded fan-made rule books where it's literally the same rules, they just restructured into different categories. I forgot what game I was going to do that for. I made a joke about one of the games I liked a lot. I wanted to redo the rule books for. I think it was a miniature game. And they structured it so poorly. I tried to watch. But anyway, yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, you can have a great game with a bad rule book.
Yeah, and you can have a great rulebook with a bad game. But I think because it's what we talked about with Sentinels and Multiverse, and I think this happens a lot. I think this is oftentimes the reason for a bad rulebook is they know how. And this comes up a lot when we're trying to write things like for how to word things for like the Steamroller packet and things like that, is that you know how you want it to be, but knowing how you want it to be means that when you phrase it, the way you phrase it, you can parse in the way that translates to what you want. But that doesn't mean that somebody who has no context would read it that exact same way. So you have to get annoyingly legalese in-depth with your language. You know?
Yeah.
Like the big example that I had for the Sentinels of the Multiverse, and it's just such a duh thing. Like, obviously, they knew it, so they didn't put it in the rulebook. Nowhere in the rulebook does it say what to do when a deck is exhausted.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you reshuffle your discard pile into the deck. Yeah. Every game you've ever played, when the deck is exhausted, you shuffle your discard pile into the deck. And that's what we'd always done until somebody asked if one specific deck did that also.
Yeah.
And then we noticed that none of the decks technically told you what to do.
Yeah.
But again, the creators of the game had always played it that way, so just for some reason none of them thought to put it in there.
Yeah.
It happens.
Uh-oh.
Noisy baby.
Noise.
Ken's throwing a fit. We'll be back in a minute.
All right.
Oh, I actually muted the mic there. So she'll be back in a few minutes. No, I felt. I mean, it is. Yes, it's one small part, one rule that's not in the book. I don't think it makes it a terrible rule book, like an absolutely bad, terrible rule book. I don't think it.
The FAQ for that game is gigantic because of how much is missing from that rule book.
It's more of a clarification on timing for certain things. Most of the things go through fairly easily from the actual card rules themselves.
I look at Fantasy Flight does now. They have the rule book, and then they have a second book of references. So it kind of separates two different things. You have the concepts and it's like this is how you play the game, and then the secondary book literally calls out everything in just a more almost FAQ style thing. And they have
Star
all
Wars
the
Rebellion is the first game ever to do that.
I love that.
According to What's Their Faces.
Shut Up, Sit Down, the worst board game podcast ever created in the history of the world.
Well, I was going to say, it's like some of the other rule books, it'd be like as if the FAQ that they have for Sentinels is a fan-made FAQ. It is basically that would be the same thing as somebody would gathered all the infernal rulings on the rules questions and just put it in an FAQ. It's not really saying that the rules don't question it. It's somebody asked a question on this, and the designers or a purple verified it, how this is how it does work.
That'd actually be really nice on that. Actually, on that subject, that'd be really nice if Privateer would do something like that.
Have a wiki of some sort, yeah.
Yeah.
It's impossibly unwieldy. Somebody did it in Mark 1, and it was like 800 million pages long, and it was just... Nobody would have the time to keep up on it.
That's fair.
We'll find some random person to do. We'll give them $1.
Okay.
One whole dollar. And they'll
American?
be- Sure.
Okay, because Jamaican dollars suck.
But you can have 1 million of them if you're rich. I have 1 million Jamaican dollars. I can buy a toaster. I lied. I can buy toast.
you can buy bread.
I can,
You can buy...
I could buy a picture of a bread.
Oh, Talbis is asking if we need any more chocolate pies.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Don't tempt me with chocolate pies. I hated myself every bite I took of the chocolate pies he sent last time.
I had to dodge all the pies at work on Monday because it was Pie Day, and it was just pies everywhere. And I kept having like dodge and weave, people throwing like these delicious pies in my face. It was the worst day of ever.
I do a really good job with my MyFitnessPal.
Yeah.
Like, I go to work and I track my breakfast and I track my snacks and I track my lunch and I'm like, and I eat my dinner and I stay under my goal and then I just shove random stuff in my face for the rest of the night.
We should still put that into MyFitnessPal.
What?
That should go to MyFitnessPal too.
No, because when I finished dinner, I was under my goal, so I succeeded. I just dump shit into my face.
I do a good job of checking the bad stuff, so I can go back. Oh, that was a bad day. But
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Like, I'm like, yay, I made it. Oh, what's one sleeve of Girl Scout cookies?
The struggle is real.
600 calories is what one sleeve of Girl Scout cookies is.
Is it that few?
It's probably more. I was
That's
being
totally
generous.
worth
It's about 200 calories per 2 cookies.
Okay, I was gonna say 6 for an entire sleeve. Totally worth it. That
Yeah.
was a well played move.
Yeah,
Then.
that's dinner. Is just a sleeve of Girl Scout cookies.
I'd be on board with that.
I mean, that's...
If that is your dinner,
Yeah.
I'd still be on board with that.
Balances out the vitamins.
Yeah. It's all about the calories.
Nothing
Yeah.
else. Scurvy doesn't exist.
Hey, long-term, short-term problems.
Hey,
Not so much anymore.
Yeah, we
teaspoon-
eliminated it with vaccines.
yeah.
1 teaspoon of lime a month, Nathan. That's all you need to prevent scurvy. You got this under control.
Lyme disease keeps scurvy away?
Yes.
So everyone
covered.
else wants dried fruit, and I get pies.
What depends on the fruit.
Dried apples are really good.
Speaking of which, so I had never thought about this before until I was watching a Dimitri Martin stand-up thing on the Netflix, and he pointed this out. You can buy prune juice. Mm-hmm. How the fuck can you buy prune juice? A prune is just a dried plum. Number one, all the juice is pretty much gone. Number two, anything you get out of it is just plum juice.
Well, where do you think they put the water that they took out of the prunes when they dried them?
Yeah, it's plum juice.
No, it's just water that they took out of the
It
plum.
could be a pureed plums that then has some type of liquid
Like,
reintroduced.
like, you don't see raisin juice. It's grape juice.
Well, because raisin juice would be gross.
Why is prune juice not just plum juice?
Now I want grape juice.
Grape juice is good, but
I like prunes.
I would not want raisin juice. That just sounds horrible.
So do well. Indeed.
I love prunes. I know that I'm supposed to not eat prunes until I'm like 80 and I can't poop, but I've always liked them. They're delicious.
You'll have a really good poop the next day if you eat like 5 of them.
Well, they come
Or
in those
like
like
20.
oatmeal cylinders.
Yeah,
And I'll
yeah.
just eat a fucking cylinder. Those things are delicious.
Oh, God. You should weigh yourself before and after that shit and report back to us.
I was listening to a podcast where somebody was talking about making an invention that's a toilet seat that weighs you.
Oh, my God, I saw that. It actually exists, as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, he actually thought of it like many years ago.
I was so excited to see that was actually a product.
But yeah, so you could weigh yourself before and after your shit.
And I only
That's
crap,
I thought that was
I
just
only
what the
crap once
bathrooms.
a week, so that'd be a pretty big number. That'd be a pretty big change.
I thought that was just what the bathroom scale was for.
Twice a day here, but that might be all the prunes.
Yeah.
So I don't have time to poop once a week.
When do you play your games on your phone?
What?
Not when you poop.
I have poop.
That's
No.
what pooping's for, is reading and
I
phone gaming.
sit down, 10 seconds, poop, move on with my day. I don't stay in there. I got shit to do.
Yeah, I got phone games to play and interneting to
I can do all that. I can do that any. I am not married. I can do that wherever I want in the house and not be bothered.
It's an old habit from when I was, in a family of 5 and had siblings and everything.
Yeah, I can be anywhere in my house doing anything.
Anytime you read a Facebook post or an internet post by me, I was shitting when I wrote it.
I can believe it.
I assume you're always shitting.
It explains a lot about your Facebook posts.
Fair.
Yeah.
You should start periscoping. Don't do it.
I think
Is
Brian,
that like
what
a
you
turtle?
No, Periscope. It's basically like a live Twitch stream, but it's straight from your phone. So you could like Periscope and just show yourself. Like, hey, I'm pooping.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. Do they have like the Snapchat thing so it'll look like my poop has faces?
No.
Why wouldn't you do that? You can do a face swap with your poop.
I know. I've seen those. They're stupid.
I don't understand what's happening.
There's
The
a
Snapchat, their camera will do stuff like you open your eyes and like rainbows will shoot out of your eyes on your screen because it can recognize your facial features, and it can also do facial swaps, so it'll like swap your two faces. And it's always wacky.
usually it's when somebody puts it on a baby or something like that.
Yeah,
It just looks weird.
I saw one where the guy like he got face swapped with like a bowling ball or something, and it was very disturbing. I also saw somebody who drew a smiley face on their nipple and then face swapped their nipple with their own face, and it was amazing.
Yeah, we apologize for the Twitch viewers that they did not send out a notification when we went live.
Well, you tweeted it though, didn't you?
I did tweet it.
Yeah. But Twitch
didn't actually notify. So
we sent it out.
Yeah.
Twitch didn't send it out.
Twitch failed us.
Yeah, we try to be
failed
live
Twitch.
at 6:15 on Sundays. If we're not going to be live, then we'll try to
6:15 Central Daylight Time.
Central Time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Was it? Oh, I know. Somebody had mentioned still in there about the rule books. I'll grant it. I'll give it that it's bad, but it's definitely not as bad as any of the Spartan Games rule books. If you ever had to play like Dystopian
those are
Wars,
the games I was talking about that I would want to redo the rule books.
Yeah.
They're so bad.
or
It
honestly,
was a game within a game, just trying to understand the rule book at all. It's
Correct.
like when it comes to board games though, when I buy a board game, before I even look at the rule book, I have probably watched 2+ hours of videos on how to play the game. So by the time I get to the rule book, I've already been spoiled by a bunch of stuff, and then I'm just reading the rule book to kind of see what's going on.
Well, yeah, and there's kind of a tough decision when you're writing the rule book for a board game because you can either do it like chronologically, like you're like first you do this, then you do that. But if you do it chronologically, none of that shit makes sense. You know what I mean? You're like, well, why am I doing these things? And it's not till you get like the end of it where it talks about scoring and everything that you're like, oh, well, that's why I did the stuff at the beginning. So you kind of have to. There's a temptation in each of those steps to over-explain the why, and then they can just become this giant mess.
Well, in general, you want a pretty good in the beginning. You want kind of like a summary concept.
Yeah.
And you can kind of go on.
And a good rule book does that.
Yeah.
Like they give you enough to get the concept and you know what you're doing, and then you can go through and you're like, oh, I kind of get this, and then the details spread out. But it is really tough to write a rule book.
And
Like,
sometimes, like Brett Myers, who's like a local who has some published board games,
who needs to stop doing his board game nights on fucking Tuesdays? I close on Tuesdays, Brett.
Well, it's also down. It's also in a really weird place. But on top,
bar.
yeah, it's a bar downtown where I don't want to play board games or be on a Tuesday night. But he had a board game come out, and they just the company just didn't put the appendix in his rule book. Like he wrote it, it was there, they just left it out. So what's he supposed to do? Is he wrote it and he figured it was complicated, so the appendix would help, and it just didn't exist. So it's like, well,
That would save on page count.
yeah, I know, I'm sure it did, but I mean, he wrote it with that in mind, and then it didn't exist. So that can be frustrating from a game designer as well.
As a printer, I wonder if his appendix made it so that the total number of pages in the book was not divisible by 4.
Yeah, I don't know.
You always need, if you're going to do a fold-in-half stapled book, the total pages need to be divisible by 4.
That explains why some rule books have weird pictures plastered here and there to kill some space.
Yeah, because if you think of that, the full sheet of paper that's being folded in half, it's going to end up with 4 facets,
Yeah.
right? And so you can cheat it somewhat by having random pictures like that. But yeah, I have people all the time when I did printing would come in with like a 5-page document, and they're like, I want this a folded book, and it's like, so you want me to just shove 3 blank pages in there? Like,
yeah.
I don't know, though. Or they just fucked him. One of those two things happened.
There you go. There you go. Good times.
What?
I'm just reading the comments. So people mentioned that there wasn't for even Painting with My Mouth John. Didn't get an announcement that he went live either.
Maybe Twitch is just like, no announcements today.
Correct.
I saw someone had a big paragraph-long War Machine question up higher. Was that something interesting?
Yeah, we could talk about that. I did ask the public for random topics for us to discuss too. So, quick question on War Machine Hordes with the newer scenarios and reduction of armor skew. How do you feel the best ways to deal with gun lines for melee-centric forces like Cricks or Trollbloods? I don't know if there's really a getaway from armor skew yet. Of course, we haven't really seen it that much, have we? Have we seen that much armor skew?
You're about to see 8 rollers in Kharchev.
That is true. Or not growlers.
Ragers.
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 Yeah, 8 Ragers. 8 Ragers in Kharchev you're about to see.
And you might see, 13 pigs.
then that basically just cements that I'm still going to be playing my Cricks well into 2016.
But it does make like a rock, scissors, paper thing, where if the armor SKU is still there, then people are going to be bringing infantry spam because that's volume of attacks,
Weapon ashes,
which means that then gun lines beat that, and they lose to the armor SKU, and you end up with this.
Well, the volume of attacks. I mean, a lot of times with Cricks, if you're going against a gun, you want to have more guys that they can handle shooting. So, because usually if it's a solid gun line, you have more troops because you don't need as once you engage, their melee is usually so bad that then you just start taking them out that way. So you only need a few to make it through to like wreak havoc.
Well, that's the theory with the Doom Reavers. Like 12 Doom Reavers are garbage.
Yeah.
50 Doom Reavers are amazing.
Yeah.
And not divisible by 6.
When you kill 12 Doom Reavers, having 0 left isn't scary.
Sure.
Having 40 left is scary.
Correct. Yeah.
He'll even lose 30 and still have his 20 just do everything.
20 Doom Reavers are in your grill wrecking your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps out with Doom Reavers having the berserk on them and reach so good.
Fearless abominations.
But yeah, that's the main thing you can do is just have more dudes to survive the shooting line.
And that's why Crix does well with it because most of my stuff will have stealth, so
That as
usually
well.
it'll survive its way up there.
Stealth will mitigate, stealth. Yeah, some mitigating things, because you won't mitigate all factions, but I mean, if you have a combination of stealth or incorporal or some other gimmick, you can usually, Wrong Eye and Snapjaw advances down the field, can't be shot, so that's just,
Yeah.
he's got reach, he engages a whole gunline unit,
Yep.
all sorts of things can go on.
Yeah, and if you have something like fast and sacrificial that you can just run up into them to tie them up to buy the rest of your army time.
Soul Hunters run 16, engage a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Maybe they die, but if it buys enough time for the rest of your army to get into there.
Yeah.
Like, gun mages aren't killing soul hunters in melee,
Yeah.
Like, once you're in there, they're just sad.
Well, and that's the same thing with those with the not the bog trogs, but the croak raiders. They wouldn't be able to handle soul hunters. I mean, they're defense 14. They can't hit anything in melee.
They have gang.
I suppose.
Yeah, that's one weird thing about bog trogs is them having gang.
Not
or
bog
croak
trogs.
hunters. I meant croak
Croak
hunters.
hunters.
Them having gang. It's like, oh, you're good in melee too?
It's a little weird they're good at both.
Yeah, it's like battle mages. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, aha, I'll get into, oh my god, that hurts.
Yeah,
Maybe my other person that was taking on that one time.
Yeah, they have gang.
Maybe it's
inexplicably.
because I had a jack. Because their attack power is so low.
Yeah, even
That's
with
what it
gang,
is.
but they'll tear up infantry, but they're
Yeah.
they're not going to melee a jack to death.
Yeah, because I remember when I dealt with those, I had my Griffin spam list, and I just ran Griffins into them, and they're like, not much.
So, Jackie, when's the last time have you got any War Machine? Any War Machine recently, or?
Not really. I played a game against Jake Quimby the other day, like a month or so ago now, I guess. That was pretty fun. Ah, shit.
I'm excited about Jake Quimby now that I know he owns Twilight Struggle. He's my new best friend.
That was
Twilight
pretty
Struggle.
fun, though.
You would hate
Twilight.
Twilight Struggle.
It was,
I know of it. I know the game. Yep, it's like the Russia versus U.S.
It's going to be on the it's coming out on the iPad. It's coming on the PC this month.
Oh my god!
iPad the following month. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, iPad the following month, and then Android a month or so after that.
I was gonna say I don't have an iPad, and then I remembered that I do.
Oh.
It's just on my bar, covered in dust, because I only used it to play Small World with people.
And now we'll
And
have
Lords of Waterdeep, rather.
yeah, and now we'll have Twilight Struggle.
I'll have Twilight Struggle.
but yeah, our game was Nemo 1, Gatsby 2, and Nemo 1, Scar 1, rather, and I got feedback mostly to death. It was going really well otherwise.
He was playing Crix?
Yeah, he
What
just
the
felt
hell?
like doing it for once, so
Oh.
he borrowed Keith's Crix and got a list from Keith, and turns out Crix not so fun to chain lightning.
Nope.
Nope.
They are not.
Nope.
Keith is more and more begrudgingly starting to like Acid Trip, and it makes me so happy. Nothing's ever made me happier than watching him come around about that list.
It's pretty fun to watch, actually. I appreciate it.
I have a new challenge to try to make Scabrous work now too, which that's my new personal.
So if you're
challenge.
going to play that on tournaments, what's your other list going to be? Like, what are you going to
I'm
list?
thinking more to Nebra.
Gotcha.
No Denny 3.
Well, it's going to be a Jack heavy list, so I either can stick with that goofy Denny 3 list, maybe adjust it a bit, drop one of the characters and put in actual support things to make it work, or more Nebra, probably in theme, in theme you lose Nightmare, and Nightmare's super legit, but you gain like 6 points and extra inches on your deployment zone and all kinds of
Her
other
theme
amazing
is
things.
super amazing.
Yeah. I read an article talking about playing her out of theme, and I'm like, yeah, Nightmare's good, but so's everything her theme gives her.
Yeah, she can go either way. I mean, so it's not a bad thing. But
I'm really excited to play her with the Shield Guard Jack. Those come out like next week, right?
Yeah. Probably.
Those exist? What?
Yeah, that's coming out next week.
Yeah.
There's a big release.
They are not coming out next week.
They're not coming out ever.
The No Quarter on Tuesday is going to have the campaign rules in it.
I saw the Mist Speaker rules.
He'll be used in Minions and then never anywhere else.
Yeah.
They promoted him as just like every faction is going to want him for his abilities, and then you're like,
If that thing wasn't friendly faction, if it was just friendly, then yeah, I think you'd see him a lot. But friendly faction, so limiting.
Well,
yeah.
you just have to have more minions in your list.
yeah. But he will be solid in Minions.
What single minion model, like what? Because it's not even model unit. Like it's
I don't-
one minion gets eyeless sighted magical weapon. Like,
Well, let's see. Rorsch.
guess maybe you put on a meat thresher if you bring it in a list that takes
The magical meat thresher.
yeah
Magical?
magical eyeless sight meat thresher just tearing it. Yeah, I just meh. Because the thing that people pointed out is that the Sacral Vault already has eyeless sighted magical weapons, and it's the best gun in Gators. So Gators have like 2 guns. They have the Sacral Vault and they have the
Ironhide Spitter.
the Ironhead Spitter, and it's like, well, nobody cares about the Ironhead Spitter, and the Sacral Vault already has it.
Andy, how attached are you to your monitor?
Yeah.
How attached are you to gravity crushing your baby with a monitor?
I could go either way.
Okay.
Zappity.
Grumble.
What are our Zappities here?
Ras could use Eyeless Sight for his magical weapon.
He'll be Iris,
It'll be a Rascalist where you see him.
which makes sense because it's a bog truck.
Yeah.
Yep. Are we Zappity Grumbling now?
Yes.
Yes, we're 47 in. Oh, somebody burped.
That was me, sorry.
All right, so Nathan Scott is asking, in all seriousness,
Liar.
I would like to see everyone's opinion on Guild Ball, aside from I already have a sports game, and Guild Ball sucks, Miller Lite is awesome, troll, and beyond that, I just don't have another minis game. I don't have time for another minis game dismissal either. It's kind of the new hotness. It isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I should honestly address it.
I don't care about Guild Ball. Was that on the list?
Nope.
Good. That's my answer.
Based on how many people are playing it, it's probably good. I've never played it though, so I do not personally know.
Yeah, my honest answer to him was that there's only one person on the podcast that plays it, and that was Kurt. Kurt likes it a lot. None of us have played it, so we don't really have an opinion on it in a sense, other than I heard it's good.
The only person on the podcast who has ever played it thinks it's good.
Yeah.
I have a challenge in my life. I'm single, and I have like 40 or 50 free hours in a week or more, and I don't have enough time to fit in other games, and I just can't fit in another game. So that's my problem.
That was on the list.
That
You
was
couldn't
on the
say
list.
That one.
All right,
You
so
We
couldn't
don't
say
have
you
time for another minis
No,
game.
I don't have time for anything. I have too many games. Sorry. But that's why my first answer will count.
Yeah, I mean, eventually I'll probably get sucked into a demo game of some sort, and I'll be able to give a more formal opinion on that. But, I mean, from everything I heard about it, it plays basically similar to, like, a miniature skirmish game.
I'm sure it's
fine.
I'm sure it's the best game I've never played.
Yep.
Right under your chair, Nathan. There's some.
I haven't played it yet, so I really can't give an opinion, but I've heard nothing but good things about it, really. So, reserving judgment?
As long as the phrase is banned, that War Machine game sucks now. You should play Guild Ball. It's
Yeah.
It's not the
Yeah.
starting point of.
If you are a pundit for Guild Ball, stop trying to promote Guild Ball as being a better game than War Machine. Or just you don't have to compare it to other people's games. You just promote your game.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
Imagine if War Machine was good and had 10 models and it was a sport. That's Guild Ball.
yeah, it's God. Nothing will draw me. Nothing will push me further away from your game than basically bashing the thing I like now.
Yeah.
Well, I will
Even when
say
I-
soccer with robots would be pretty legit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even when I didn't like War Machine
wait,
very much
it's called
before.
Grind. And that game was not very good.
Never mind.
Soccer with RC cars is pretty good.
That's true. That is
Is that the
objectively
game that
true.
your babysit cat peed on?
No, it's the game that we played on the PlayStation. That you got
yeah.
the first score and you were all happy, and then you never scored again and you got grumpy.
What was that game called again? I can't remember, and it was legit.
Rocket League.
There we go, Rocket League.
People still play. That's a big game still.
Still amazingly good. I'm not good at it. I am pretty goddamn awful.
Oh, I was fucking terrible at it.
We should play it again as a 4-player team.
Alex platinum that game.
All right, so Zappity.
That Grumble.
How do you think Wave 8 will affect the X-Wing meta?
Oh man.
People are really into X-Wing, and I don't get it because Armada exists. It's like here's a game for children called X-Wing, and then Armada is a game for adults. So I just don't get into the children's games.
Hey, Jackie has a tattoo. I didn't know that. Oh my god.
Is it?
I don't know. Wave 8.
It's not plugged in, so that's good.
Power strip and baby together.
Her hair will stand up.
Lights all go out.
Yeah, I've never played either, but Armada just seems better.
Yeah, playing with bigger ships just seems much better. I would rather much play with the Star Destroyer than...
And you can still have like the Millennium
You and your
Falcon.
Star Destroyers. I don't get that stuff. The Imperial ships are just big, boring triangles. Like, look how sleek and sexy a Mon Calamari battlecruiser is.
It's effectiveness versus blah.
Or the medical ship. What are those? The Nebula B.
Yeah.
Those things are beautiful.
When they blow, as they're blowing up, they're pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
they do
adorable.
make pretty nice explosions.
Uh-oh.
I found this.
I think we need to bring pizza for her next time for a distraction.
Zappity.
All right. Any comments on the coming rotation for Hearthstone?
I haven't played Hearthstone. It's actually people have been enjoying it quite a bit again. I just too many things to do.
It's got too much to collect in it. I ended up getting like 3 of the expansions, and I started playing it again, and I lose interest like immediately. I'd rather play Heroes of the Storm or WoW, or I've been starting to play StarCraft again. So
Yeah, if I have time to play a Blizzard game, it's going to be Heroes of the Storm until May, then it'll be Overwatch.
Yep.
I have a special appreciation for Hearthstone because it's a really good I'm bored at work but can't bring my full PC game. So I played a lot at work, but that said, I also haven't collected even the original yet. It just takes such a long time.
Yeah.
So.
I think LCGs have kind of killed my interest in CCGs, even a digital one. Like the opening packs and hoping for a rare and this, that, and the other. I kind of just don't care about that as much anymore.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
You mean you don't want that holographic Charizard?
Yeah.
No.
Hearthstone's fun for me to randomly play sometimes on my Kindle, but I just don't gung-ho into it.
Oh, you found another one, did you?
All right. You guys should talk about War Machine. Or talked about Adepticon. Consider it's in 2 weeks.
We did. We mentioned
did.
it existed and that 3 of the 4 of us didn't have rooms.
Yep.
Zappity.
Grumble. If you're making a War Machine video game, what story, characters, aspects of the game do you use? To be perfectly honest, when I first saw their idea for War Machine, the video game, when they had kind of like the Dynasty Warrior style with the Warcasters running around destroying troops.
Where you could jump into your jack and control it as your character as well. Oh god, she has a head full of beard. This is going to end badly.
Yeah, but that's honestly how I would do it. I liked that version. Not saying that the tactics version isn't bad, but it's
No one would call it good.
Oh, good. Okay. That was really painful. Yeah. I didn't need 80% of my face anyway.
But I definitely would make it so you're playing either Kador or Signar as the quote-unquote good guys versus Crix or Cephalix or something like that. That would be how I would do it.
It's really sad, too, because the idea they had for tactics was such a good idea. It just wasn't executed well. Like, I really liked the idea of being able to play a game of War Machine online. That was super legit. But
Yeah.
That's what Vassal's for.
yeah, exactly. Well, your Vassal doesn't work very well either.
Vassal's a
but-
big pain in
Here,
the
have
butt.
this thing.
Okay.
You have less facial hair to get torn off.
But I thought you needed the waxing. She does it for free. Some people pay for that, Nathan. It's a valuable service.
All right. Zappity.
Grumble.
Is it now a good time to buy 8 units of Doom Reavers? Cram painting for Adepticon? And how many years in a row before someone learns their lesson?
You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, you could do it.
Those lists are more. Those Doom Reaver lists are better at smaller local
I
metas.
quite agree, little girl.
They don't work as well in big events because you're going to randomly come across lists that can just stop you.
Yeah, there are a lot of super hard counters. Like, the only reason it's done so well for so long in Madison is that we all know what we need to run to stop it, and just none of us cares to do it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he won another tournament because we don't want to. A lot of us want to bring 2 lists to an event and play those 2 lists. We just know they can't handle Doom Reavers. We just don't care. So it's like, oh, we lost a Jordan that round, but I can play 3 actual games the rest of the day.
I would rather play the 2 lists I want to play and lose to Doom Reavers than have one of my lists dictated rather, because it has to be that to answer Doom Reavers.
Yeah.
But now I have a list I want to play that beats Doom Reavers, and that's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, Yeah, I actually went to the tournament. I didn't really want to take on Doom Reavers at all. I mean, I had Gatsby too. I mean, that's something I could have did at the 35-point event. But, yeah, I didn't want to play my Denegra list at 35. It just...
Well, yeah, but your Gatsby list is what he is yeah, they both can handle it.
Yeah, you can't X-Carnate, but if you deliver a Bile-Throw the old-fashioned way, that's that.
Kasploosh.
And I should be able to with Clouds.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Zappity. If you could retroactively go in errata.
All right, it's grumpy mode now. We have reached... that's the noise I think our listeners make about an hour into our podcast, too.
Pretty much.
Uh-oh. Andy, under you.
What?
I'm in your way.
Aye, all right.
What's the question?
There you go. Somebody else got aye.
If you could retroactively go and errata or buff any 3 to 5 casters in any or all factions, what would you go change and why?
Zappity. That's way too long. Aaron, fuck you. We don't care. I'm deleting that message.
No, well, reduce it to 1. Retroactively make 1 errata. Although errata don't have to be retroactive, because that would just be retroactively
Morgul
design
2
them
gains
differently.
acrobatics.
I can see that. That's fair.
It's still 12 inches. It's still much smaller than most casters' threat ranges.
To be
but it
fair-
makes it 12 inches of trouble.
It doesn't make sense. They never depict him in his artwork like flipping over models acrobatically on the way to killing
Yeah,
things.
if you look at all of his arguing, that guy has acrobatics. No.
Morgul?
Morgul 2
needs
should.
acrobatics.
Yeah.
I honestly think that when they gave the errata for Morgul 2, he should get his Mark 1 feet back. Considering how blind
Now
is
that blind has been mitigated
His
somewhat.
current feat is so bad anyway. So
I think that's.
I would take either of those options. You give him just the ability to be super dangerous from 12 inches, legitimately. Because I mean, there's other casters. Look at Butcher 3. What Butcher 3 can do at 18 inches, or so many casters can do so much more damage, so much farther away nowadays.
Yeah.
Giving him at least 12 inches isn't going to break the game, and it still doesn't make him great. It just makes him a little bit better.
I agree. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And it's simple.
Zappity.
Yeah, you don't get to say whatever you were inhaling to say.
I was gonna say, being biased as a Signar player, I fucking love Nemo 1, but his feat is useless unless you're Crix. I would change his feat to something else.
What does his feet do? It like zaps things, doesn't it?
Yeah, it disrupts all warjacks and.
So it's useless
power
if
14
they are
against them
Crix,
as
not
well.
the other way around.
No, I like it for Crix because then you can't use your arc nodes.
Oh,
to disrupt
gotcha.
it.
And
Yeah,
Power
it's pretty
14,
sweet
you
for
can
that.
actually kill some Arc Nodes.
And they're
with that.
boostable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good against hordes.
Yeah.
You can smash some Orbeez with that. I'm sorry. Yeah. Zappity.
There's too many casters' feet to say living miles or this or living miles that. Let's just say models. We don't need to. I understand fluff reasons
As
why
a convergence player, fuck you.
I'm just saying there's a lot of things that are living only, and it's like I get the fluff behind it, but
Everything should say living or undead. Stick with that.
Or non-living or undead.
Oh, here, that reminds me. Not really, but it kind of does. I don't play this faction anymore, but I always thought that Magnus's 1 feat should be Magnus's battle group gets to make an immediate advance. Which is less total distance, because his current one gets a run after the turn's over. So an advance is less than a run, so it's actually a reduction in total maneuverability, but it's a gain in usefulness because you get to use it then and now. Like his current feat, you don't use it, it doesn't increase threat range, it doesn't, get you the alpha strike. Hypothetically, it's used to, you charge, you smash into him, and then you run to a safer location, but with scenarios existing, you can't do that. You can't like hit and then retreat into your deployment zone because then they're like, okay, I score 5 and win.
Yeah.
Like, so I always thought that the concept of maneuverability was really good.
You'd have to rename the feat.
Sure, I'd have to rename the feat.
I'm just saying
it could still be called hit and run. It just wouldn't make sense. That's fine. Because I mean,
Fair
on
enough.
scale, like Shay moves his entire army 3 inches, so moving your battle group 5 to 6 inches isn't much stronger. But yeah, that's mine.
Zappity.
He is absolutely
Grumble.
enthralled by whatever's going on
Do
outside.
you guys
That's
think?
okay.
That's apparently British for think. Do you guys think there will be an X-Men versus Avenger crossover movie with both studios working together, aka parallel universe movie? No.
Are you sure that's
Goldberg
British?
never wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Avengers will never fight the X-Men.
Well, if either movie, if for the franchise they start to lose money and they get desperate, yes.
They did get Spider-Man finally.
Yeah, they got Spider-Man, and that's that. I mean, that is a Sony thing. If Sony needs, the thing is, the X-Men movies are actually they do well on their own. Where if one of the two franchises starts to plummet, you'd probably see someone pay the other to do something.
Like, I could see Batman versus Superman 2, The Revenge of the Fantastic Four, because they have not, they're failing miserably every time they try to make a movie, so that would be a desperation move. But like you said, X-Men doesn't need it. The Avengers don't need it.
Correct.
No, not for either franchise.
That said, that's clearly not a British person because they add unnecessary letters, not
Oh no, this
Well,
guy.
he is British.
He's British.
And Tink is a British thing. I've watched enough British TV shows.
Yeah, Doctor Who's always like
Movies.
Tink. I'll tink them to death.
Well, it's like that's the language that the guys speak in Attack the Block,
Yeah.
which is their version of the Jersey Shore.
Which is a good movie. What?
What? It's my favorite foreign language film.
Attack the Block?
Yeah.
All right.
You telling me that's English?
Okay, fair. All right. Oh, we have a jackass at the next question.
Some useless fuckstick says, I'm about 6 episodes behind. Accidentally erase and just start with this episode or power through a binge listen on next road trip.
Binge listen.
I'll say not one person commented on our last podcast, so maybe skip that one.
Ooh,
There wasn't even a
I
thread.
think there was a release.
Yeah, it came out. Just no one. No, it was like
No, he
no.
means right
I
now
think there was
something
a
released
release.
something
Oh.
from somebody's butthole.
Oh,
Zappity Grumble recommendations. Recommendations.
But yeah, there wasn't even a thread for episode 152. Like, nobody cared.
Yeah, nobody cared. That's fine.
I mean, to be fair, I listened. I was on it. It was not worth talking about.
You listened?
I talked about it.
I never listened.
Wait, what's your recommendation, Nathan?
My recommendation is Patchwork. It is a 2-player board game that's quick and easy and fun, but more importantly, there's an app available on your iPad or your Android device, and it's only $3, and you can play it with me and other people. I'm currently playing 37 games online because every time I log in, I start 5 more ranked games because I'm addicted to Patchwork. Please send help.
I'm recommending the movie Zootopia. I didn't know what it was about. I randomly saw it, and it was really good. It might be it's probably top 2 or 3 animated movies I've seen in a long time.
That bunny looks hot. Is she, like, fuckable?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's a surprisingly good story, and it's one of those movies where when it was done, like, man, I felt like it was very quotable, and I couldn't remember the quotes because there was too many good ones, which is a good sign. And there's also this really good line about telling Travis to shut up, which I thought has to be when a movie's on DVD, someone has to like take that small clip and just play it in every thread where Travis talks about something, and it's like, shut up, Travis.
Somebody mentioned that there's a Breaking Bad reference in it, too.
Oh yes, there's a breaking. There's all sorts of. That movie is actually good for a multitude of reasons. It's like all good animes. There's lots of good adult humor synced in there. Like they're in Bunnytown, and the population as they drive out of Bunnytown, the population's just constantly going up on the sign. Just a little. The kids laugh at the parents like, "Oh yeah, someone's doing something." And it's actually a good moral to the story, and it's.
I'm not sure what she's.
I think she's trying to climb out the window.
She wants to go fly. Pressing her keys. So that's my thing. Everyone sees Zootopia. Andy?
Andy's busy. Jackie?
What was the question?
Recommendation.
Hail Caesar was pretty good too on the subject of movies.
Well, it's a Coen Brothers film, so of course it's good.
Yeah. It's kind of like telling somebody to go see Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? It's just something you have to do.
I think Raising Arizona is still my favorite Coen Brothers film, but that's mostly just because my family watched it 100 times as I was growing up.
That would do it, I suppose.
What we're doing right now is watching Raising Arizona?
Yes.
So
Oh, yeah, that's... Oh man.
Otherwise,
Movie's
other
so good.
recommendations: bring Baby Jail next time. That's my recommendation.
Bring
to myself.
Baby Jail.
Yeah.
For Marshall, Jeremy, or an actual baby. you choose what you put in it.
I think Jeremy would go well in there. He'd have a hard time.
He would be he would be preoccupied with all the shiny things, and he wouldn't know how to get out.
That's true too.
Episode 150 is up, I think.
It should be
Yeah, episode 150 should be up. Episode 10 is up too, somewhere.
somewhere.
They're all
Find
up
it.
It's
Yeah.
a hidden secret.
If you can find it, then let us know.
Yeah, there's a prize.
Yep.
150 isn't as hidden though. That one should just be up.
Yeah.
There's no prize for finding
Look
150.
somewhere between 149 and 151. That's a clue.
Actually, all the YouTube versions of the streams, 150 was not up because I had to piecemeal it back together because there was the internet problems during it.
Internet.
And then
But the audio version's up.
the audio version's up.
But the YouTube version is suffered.
I don't know if we can have another Keith versus the Texans episode.
Oh
It
my
wasn't
God.
really versus.
That he said he
It was
hated
perfect.
them and their stupid hats.
Oh yeah, I guess.
But now it's true, so we have to have a new topic.
Yeah, it's less funny when it's true.
My recommendation, I don't really have one. So there you go. Suck
right.
it, Trebek.
Baby proofing.
Yeah, baby proofing the podcast room would be.
An impossible nightmare.
I would be impossible. We got a closet.
I almost broke
We
your
put
little
the-
cat bug, but I stopped myself because I thought it was one of those ones because of the zipper placement. I thought it was one of the ones that turned inside out and stored inside of itself.
No.
but it didn't seem like that was going to happen without irreparable damage, so I
Yeah.
stopped.
I'm-
You're welcome.
I'm glad.
Should we put the baby in the closet?
Nobody puts baby in the closet.
Oh, I get
a reference.
The reference.
Or baby in a corner.
Well, that would have been the actual quote, but it wasn't topical.
All right. Well, I guess we'll
Bye,
call it quits.
everybody.
I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about?
It's just everything.
Sorry for this.
Oh, I forgot to stare into the last 8 or 9 episodes. Every once in a while, I've just stared directly in the camera for 10 minutes, in the hopes that it would creep somebody out. Like they'd be watching and they'd just go, "He's staring at me." I forgot to do that this episode.
Hold
Hey,
on.
what's happening now? Are we done? Is this recording?
No.
There's a menu in your
So
screen.
I still have time to do it.
Yeah.
But the other people watching, I'm not staring at you. The person I'm staring at knows who I'm staring at, and they have to pick between me and Brian. What's happening over there?
What? He's just clicking things. We're staring.
Andy,
How? It's the stop button.
no, he's doing something. Andy's got a clever idea in his head. He's going to do something. Meanwhile, things are happening to microphones. Don't look over here, Andy. Do whatever you're doing.
I'll mute that microphone.
That's not going to save it.
Muting won't save its life.
There's a chunk of a microphone gone. It's amazing.
Whoa.
What is happening?
Oh, he's going to zoom in on me. This is a long way to go for a gag.
Now he's zooming out. Oh, it's happening now.
Yes.
You should be staring at the camera.
Come closer. Come to me. Hello. Welcome to my abode.
To our listeners,